Right, okay, so hi, I'm Max, as in Max is Slight, and playing 7 Days to Die Alpha 16 build, whatever it says up in the corner. I think it's B113. Now, I wanted to introduce you to a little bit of the gameplay. Obviously, you've probably seen a lot on the streams, etc. But this is how I'm playing the game. So this is where I've decided to set up. I spawned roughly around here somewhere, and I walked up and found myself the ideal place. Now, I picked the location because it has a lot of open space here. It's in the plains, which I like as a starting area because you can get the yucca for drink and so on. Also, there's a good chance normally that you're going to have things like the city spawn. And I've got this very small industrial city here, a snow biome, the ruined biome there, the green pine or maple, one's pine, one's maple, can't remember which is which. And thanks to watching Joe and Matt on the Bearded Guys Gaming, I knew they needed a burnt biome for my nitrate needs, etc. And I found one of those just up here. So this is a lovely little place to start. And I started out, I basically cheated in enough skill points to get me to level 30-ish, saying 35, 40, I can't remember exactly how many it was. But I didn't want to start with 0 points because I know the grind to get to those points. So I started out cheating a little bit. This is experimental, so I can't really experiment with things if I'm just grinding out the beginning points. That's my theory and I'm sticking to it. So, yeah, I'm here. And this is where I started. It was all flat. I've been around picking up the trees from the green areas, planted a bunch of trees. This is my farm. Again, as I go, picking up all the area, and again, yuccas are very simple to get. This has all been built up with wood frames and hay bales to bring it to level, and there's one level of dirt on the top. Inside this industrial zone, there are 2 skyscrapers, a bunch of stores, and again, there's another city just down here, and there's another one up here. So I've managed to find lots of tool shops and other things that come apparent later. In that skyscraper there, I found this compound bow. I've found a few bits since that have helped me level it up a little bit. I've been very lucky in my drops from the airdrops. I've got a couple of SMGs which will come into play in a minute. But basically this is my farm. I've got all the ingredients here for the paint, which I'm making quite a bit of. Yucca juice and yucca plants, corn, which is based for quite a few things, potatoes, and this is my field that I use for grinding. Basically you get one, plant it, oh there you go, Vera's ready, so I'll just show you really quick. Pick up the aloe vera that's ready, make it into seeds, and then so I picked up 4. I now have 8. Simple as that, and that's how I end up with large fields of food like this. I will be obviously building another section here for aloe vera, another section for mushrooms, and another section again for blueberries. Once I use this field to get myself enough seeds to warrant building another field. So there we are. This is my fighting box, which I'll show you inside of in a minute because you can't access it from here. And this was just a shed. It was built like this. It was just a simple shed. I cleared it out. There was about 2 or 3 sleepers in it. I've fixed it all up. I replaced the walls with iron bars that I could shoot out of and put a lot of defences on the outside. There are a few other little bits and pieces hidden on it, which I'll show you when I get inside. It's killed something for me. It's very nice of it. As you can tell, I'm on day 14 now, so I've got a Horde coming very soon, which I will show you how this thing tends to a Horde. But I'm not going to carry on playing all the way through. What I'll do is I'll just cut to the Horde and show you what's effectively how effectively this place can deal with it. Now we've got a okay, that's weird. The wire's glitched out. That wire normally just trails across the top there, which is odd. should be on. Okay, so there we are. We put the lights on. These wires are glitching a little bit. That's very strange. They're normally up against the ceiling. So anyway, this is my spawn point. I've died a few times in this, a lot more than I ever did in Alpha 15, because things like the vultures and random wandering hordes, which can be a pain. So up here is the shed and the battle box, which I'll show you in a minute. And all I've literally done is in the battle box, once I've got myself established with a bedroll in there and a box for dumping stuff, I've got to go exploring, getting my skills up. I dig down. And I'll make myself a base. Now a lot behind there is dugouts for mining, etc. There's been quite a few veins of mines. In here is my storage and crafting. Don't really need to go through too much, but as you see, I've got an earth forge for lead, iron, brass, 2 for stone, 1 for glass, concrete mixer, chem station, 2 workbenches, and a bunch of storage. Now I have it on, as you probably think, well, how do you get all that in for day 14? I have it on 2-hour days because I like that. I like having the long days and the long nights, so it gives me longer to get leveled up. My intention for Alpha 16 is to refurbish a town, so I will be picking a town and rebuilding. So I need somewhere like this where I can start building supplies, and that's the screamer that just got killed by the spikes, so that's useful. And here we are inside the shed with the iron bars all around. Now this is quite a big shed, and the reason I picked it for that reason because I wanted this upstairs. This is my little surprise, and it'll become much more apparent on Horde night. Again, with my airdrops, I had 2 SMGs drop for me, so there they are, one there, one there. Killing the farmers and looting inside the town, I've gotten 2 shotguns, so those are there. The amount of points, parts around are just ridiculous now, so it's absolutely insane. So I don't even need my light up here. I know it's daytime, but you can see everything very clearly. The idea is to stand in here in Horde night, and it's basically unbreachable. Well, it was on the first Horde night. I had a fairly big horde initially, and then it kind of petered out a little bit, so I'm assuming that's going to happen today. So let's have a look. I'm level 98 now, so I've got nearly 60 levels on my own by digging mainly. You level up really fast once you get an iron pickaxe. If you want to dig out a massive space underground, your leveling goes up incredibly fast. How many deaths? I've died 10 times, which is exceptional. Let me see how many zombies deaths have we killed. We killed nearly 500 zombies already, but zombies are not that good for XP anymore. Crafting, building, silly things like when I was making the farm, I had to make a lot of dirt, so I made the dirt clumps in my inventory, so the crafting was up and up and up. So here, this is it. This is the base. I'm going to leave the video here, and I will come back a bit later on tonight when it's ready for the Horde. So thank you, and I'll speak to you in a bit. Hi, yes, it's me, Max, again. I know I said I'd be redoing for the Horde night, but something struck me. I don't know how many people are aware of it, so with the introduction of the new compound bow, I thought I'd really quickly show you a little bit about the sights and really how to use one. Now, this is what's called a marksmanship sight. It has 4 bars in the center by the crosshairs there. The first and top bar is for ranging up to and including 50 meters, like that. And then you have the bars going down. The bottom of the 4 is for 100 meters, and excuse me 1 second, let's just get rid of that. So top one is 50 meters, the bottom one is for 100 meters, and the 2 incrementals in between is approximately 60 to 70 for number 2 and 70-80 ish for number 3. Probably closer to 75 for 2 and 85 for 3. But and then you just got to work out your distances, and it's pretty accurate. It's pretty spot on. I know ranges for shooting, and they work. They are pretty much spot on for what they need to be. I do like those new sounds. So yeah, I thought I'd just really introduce you to the marksmanship site, forgive me, for the compound bow. Right, that was it. Horde night will be following. Okay, we are back in. It's me again, Max, and we're at the Horde night for day 14, the second Horde night. As I explained earlier in the video, I had long 2 hours for a day cycle, so this is probably equivalent to day 20, 21 Horde, something like that. I'm not sure about the game scaling, but in my progress it would be quite high. So my intention is to, apparently the theory of looking one way and having them spawn behind you for the Horde. I'm not sure how well that works, because sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't for me, but I'm going to try and get them to spawn away from my fields. They've not done any damage to the field yet, but the wall beyond the field that's halted up, bring it to level. Any wandering Horde has had issues with that. I have put a ramp in on that side, but hopefully they won't do too much damage to it, and they'll spawn behind me. In between shooting the marksmanship clip and this one, I've added another death to my total, which is quite a good one in this case. I was going across the broken biome and hit 3 landmines, one after the other. That was the end of that. Yeah, so we are really almost nearly ready. I have the sound turned right down because this is going to get loud. My intention is to... Don't want to turn around now. My intention is to just let them come and then switch on the guns, and here we go. I don't want them to kill them all too far out. We are hunted. Which way are they spawning in? There's a dog there. There's not really much. Nope, there's some. Here we go. Right. Let's... Wait. This is with the sound turned right down, so... I think I'll turn it off for the first wave because there might be some bigger ones coming in a minute. And I do want to get my rifle skills up a little bit, so let's keep the hits coming. And the field not bugged out. Standing up still, there we are. Not too drastic. Hello, doggy. There's a bunch of dogs in this. Here they come. Yeah, let's let the guns do it, some of them. I mentioned earlier that it's probably not worth me trying to talk over the turrets. But, there's a fat Hawaiian dude. I mentioned earlier, zombie kills not that much XP anymore. So using the turrets doesn't seem to be that much of a waste of XP. They are burning through those spikes. Turrets do seem a little bit overpowered. But then that is only one turret. Imagine if I had a bank of them and I made the ammo, it would be impregnable. Spikes are doing a lot of the work as well. And I'm actually slapping in the odd shot here and there just to... The amount of headshots these turrets make, it's pretty cool. Oop, missed. It's not like me at all. Maybe we can get someone to come over here a little bit. Yeah, oh yeah, by the way, there's shotgun one too, isn't it? Try and get them to run around, and then we'll spread out the damage a little bit and the looting and everything. And also the ammo on the turret. Now I've managed to make, with some effort, I made 1,200 rounds for each SMG turret and about 500 shotgun rounds, so should be plenty. Stand in this corner, they seem to come up. Oh look. The amount of headshots these turrets make is ridiculous. They are deadly accurate. And I think that's the initial horde over with. Wow. Well, there you go. Nice kill box with turret in each north, south, east, west. A spotlight accompanying the turret. 3 lines of spikes. And I'm not even having to fire. I'm just firing because I want to level up my rifles. So what I'm going to do is switch this off. And I do want to level rifles a little. Oh, there's a vulture out there. We don't like vultures. Let's get rid of him. Missed it. Dang it! That's not like me. The hitboxes are a little bit weird on these things, but that's no excuse. That should hit it. They do fly in an odd pattern, don't they? It's not really that predictable. Wait for them to come a bit closer here and switch the turrets on that and deal with it. But as you can see, that's 20, 30 zombies maybe. I only have it switched on to 12, I think. It's not many, it's not massively high. I think now that I have this system set up with the guns and the turrets, sorry, I could quite easily crank this all the way up and not worry about it in the slightest. Yeah, they have dealt with the initial horde, no problem at all. So I think, as a demonstration, that is sufficient. So you guys, and hope you enjoyed it. This is my going to be my base of operations in Alpha 16, something similar to this, obviously, as the experimental phases come out and the fixes and so on, and the different builds, they will be getting deleted. I'm deleting this world very shortly because I have a few bugs at the moment, which I'm told is because I haven't created a new world, a miscellaneous building bug and stuff. So just an idea of how a very simple shed becomes a kill box, and that was the first step, is to take out the walls and put in the iron bars, put the spikes out the side, and you have a kill box. It's very hard for them to get in. I mean, if you have an entrance either on the roof or, as I do, further away and dig a tunnel in. I like to make myself underground. So this is going to be something similar to this will be my central area once Alpha 16 is stable, and I'm going to be trying to find an area of a town that I can renovate. I'm getting cold, so I'm going to switch that on. The idea being that with the paint tool I can recreate any POI and get rid of all the damage, and yeah, have an area that I'm going to somehow defend and make sure that zombies don't spawn there or not be close to it, that kind of thing. But yeah, definitely not go there for Horde nights, but a recreated town, so it'll be nice and pleasant. Hopefully you enjoyed this as it was, and I'll speak to you soon. Ta-da.